Well, I'm up to 3 little jobs today. Just thought I'd jump on. One of them is starting my leek seeds indoors. The other is I have started some pea shoots. I do that every year, though I forgot to do that last year, or I just didn't bother. And the last final seedish thing is I've got some old seeds and I just wanted to chip them to see if they are still viable. So let's get on with that. Leeks, first of all, I have 2 favorites that I like here for Atlantic Canada, and grow what grows well in your area. One of them is Lancelot leek, and the other I just bought because I was out is Raleigh. I got both these from Vessie's because that's my go-to seed place. I don't know how many's left from Lancelot. Oh, there's a good few. And doesn't even feel like many in the Raleigh. The Raleigh is a hybrid and it's an early producing. And Lancelot, I think, is one of Vessie's always lists their choices, top Vessie choices, and that's one of theirs. And they both do very well for me. Another one I have here, and I don't know if I'm going to bother or not, I may, sometimes I get carried away, is the American flag leek. I got these from local, the seed company. But for me, I know they grow well everywhere. For me, and maybe it's my starting time that they don't like, this leek 2 to 3 years in a row now is bolts. I still get quite a few out of them because I plant a lot, but I don't need them to bolt, whereas these never do. These two don't. So I'm certainly going to start off. I'm going to start with my Raleigh leeks. I'll seed those first, and then in a week or 2, I will do the Lancelot. Now, what I've put in here is just regular, I got it over here, just regular potting mix. But it's a Miracle Grow one, and that's intentional because these leeks are going to sit in here. This is January, I don't even know what it is, January 25th. These leeks are going to sit here for a long time because once I plant them here, I leave them until it's time for them to go out, which is in, well, April if I can. May more likely, probably May. So that's a long time for seedlings indoors, but this works for me. Now, what works for me doesn't mean it works for everybody else. I keep records year to year, and I know from my records, for example, that one of the best ones I have is Raleigh for me. That's a good thing to keep records because if you're like me, you forget from year to year what really did work or what didn't, or when you started things, you know. YouTube certainly helps for this too. We can all go back and check. However, since 2018 anyways, like since being here, 2019 and on, I start them anywhere from January 19th, January up to January 30th, and then usually a second set February 1st or whatnot. And my leeks grow really well. Having said that, last year was the latest I started leeks, and they were much smaller. So I won't get the size with my small, short season here that I want from my leeks. I really rely on leeks. I've had a lot of questions of why do you grow leeks when you grow so many onions, and I just counted my onions, and I think they're good. I have enough onions till last middle of June, so that's great. Possibly July. And I have frozen leeks, so I have no problem with onions. But why do I grow them? Because they have a very different flavor, a softer, mellower, we know that, but it also has almost a deeper, a much richer flavor. So when you are making, obviously, leek and potato soup, we all adore that, but throw it into all kinds of meals and all kinds of soups. It doesn't have to be leek and potato. It's a really rich flavor. So a flavor I rely on, not to mention that braised leeks are beautiful and whatnot. So getting back to my soil, sorry I digress. I've put in, up to there, some of my potting mix. And then I'm going to put just on the top layer for my seeds to lie on and start is seed starting. I've also got the Miracle Grow. And just at the bottom here, the rim, not halfway down, but maybe 3/4 of the way up, I put in chicken manure pellets. Because as I said, these leeks are going to be in here for a long time for me. You may be able to do it differently, obviously. I'm going by Atlantic Canada. So I don't think you need me to show you putting the seeds in. But what I will do, as I say, is a little bit of seed starter on the top, just for these to start off. They don't need any of the nutrients at this point, but once they have shallow roots, but once those roots start going, they're going to need a long life of feed. So that's, I'm going to finish off in a moment. One thing I did start today, because it's exciting, it's seed time. I try to not have an abundance of crazy amounts of seeds, but that also means that I have to go through them periodically to see if they're still viable and ensure that I'm not wasting my time or whatnot. But I'm only pre-sprouting the ones that I'm curious about whether they're going to. Being frugal always, never want to throw anything away. Obviously, this is an old seed pack. I doubt that I think they've lasted forever, but it's just rutabaga, and I want to make sure that they're going to sprout. If not, I run out and get more. I also have Romanesca that I don't think did anything last year. The plants grow for me, by the way, and they're really beautiful leaves to eat. Due to wind rock and other issues that I haven't taken care of them, so I don't always get a beautiful Romanesca at all. I did once, and the rest, I just eat the leaves. However, I don't even think they sprouted last year, so I want to check those. And then I have just 2 old onions, a bunching onion that I don't think sprouted for me, and this is a Rosa Laguna. I think my sister gave me those seeds, and I don't think it ever sprouted. I've never seen that in my garden, and I'm sure I put it in my garden all the time. So why am I wasting space in my box and time with something? So that's where pre-starting or pre-chitting your seeds come in handy. I lay out, like at least 10 seeds. You want to make sure that you're getting a good enough representation. And from that, pardon me, you're just going to see how many have sprouted. If 50% of them, if 5 seeds have sprouted, I probably won't throw the seeds away, but I'll double up when I'm putting it outside. Twice as many planted. If you're down to 75, or heaven forbid nothing, you can probably throw out the packets. They're not going to get you too far. So I've only started with 4, but then again, I'm just starting to go through my bin, but I've got some, I knew I had old seeds this year that was time to look at, but I'm very lazy with pre-chitting. It's just a step that I don't normally do. I don't feel it's necessary, and I'm always all about reducing the amount of time I do on anything. The next thing I was on to was every year I start my peas for pea shoots over the winter. We are now into the longer days, so it's time for me to do this. I skipped doing it last year, and I'm not sure why. I think it was all caught up in, I was changing a bit of my lifestyle, actually, work mostly. So I don't think in my records, and I can't remember that I even bothered with them. However, it's a great little resource if you've never done it. Simple as anything. Simply throw the peas in some soil, a compost, or a potting mix, press them in, and then just make sure you put them somewhere where the sun will get them. I grow a lot of peas, and I leave a lot of the plants just to, once we get tired of the peas, or I've frozen enough, or the peas get older, say you've missed them, well then they're a little chewier and not as lovely. and I certainly don't need to freeze those. But I let them dry for the rest of the summer. And then I have peas. Now you don't have to do that if you can't. If you don't have enough peas, you go to the grocery store and buy, I've done it many times, and just buy the whole peas. Obviously it's going to be the whole peas. And, or if you've got some left over in your cupboards, they don't go bad ever. I think I've grabbed seeds that must have been, I don't know, found in the back of the cupboard. I don't know how many years old they were, frightening. And they still sprouted. So I, just starting these, I'll bring you back another time to show you how they do. They sprout really quickly for me. A lot of people pre-soak them. Again, I'm all about don't do what I don't have to do. I've never ever pre-soaked these, and I've been doing this at least 7 years because I saw a lady in the UK do it. And I was fascinated. It was the first time I'd heard of it, so I got into it at that point. And then, of course, Charles Dowding, that's probably 6 years ago, he was really promoting the pea shoots, and now we all do it. But it's a lovely added green that comes up, and of course, you're only wanting the shoots, and then you cut them just like any sprouts that you're doing, really. But you're going to let these go a little bit longer. Not too big, or they start getting a bit tougher. And you can cut from your plant as they grow outside also, but they do say that that can stunt your plants or hurt them. So yeah, if you've got time, peas are very inexpensive to buy by the bag. Throw them in some dirt and you'll have pea shoots. So I'll update you on those as they grow. All I did was, again, that's just a regular potting mix. Probably didn't need it that good. They grow very quickly. A lot of people say that they don't for them. I'm not sure about that. I've never had anything. They start sprouting for me in 3 days. Certainly by a week, they're all sprouted. And, well, within 3 weeks or earlier, you've got pea shoots, and you can throw them in your salads. You can throw them in soups. You can use them as gorgeous garnish on the side of your plates with, you know, on top of your beets and things. It's lovely. It's just a great little simple thing, and I stick them in my window. That's it. So, 3 things that I'm doing today. I'm so excited that I can start my leek seeds. That's my first seeds. I'm starting seeds. And that, of course, got me excited to remember to plant some peas for pea shoots, because I forgot last year. And then just checking to, or pre-sprouting or chitting some seeds that may be questionable to you, so you don't waste your time, gardening time, because it's critical. When you're planting something like a rutabaga, it takes a long time. Now they grow into the cold, and they start early. They take a long time to grow. And if your seeds weren't great, and you forget about them or whatnot, you're soon going to find out you don't have rutabagas. And I want to grow rutabagas much better this year. Actually, I think I bought some from Vesey's. I can't remember. Oh, I did. So I bought the York rutabaga. Okay. So if these don't work out, I got lots more. Anyway, that's it for today. Wanted to keep it short. Hope you're all doing well, and see you next time.